there was a movie that came out on Roku, right? We had Weird, starring Daniel Radcliffe as Weird Al Yankovic. I just wanted to see if did you check this movie out, and if not, why the hell not?
Okay, I didn't see this, so I don't appreciate this.
Explain it to the audience, not to me.
I couldn't make it over to your place over the weekend. Okay? Hand up. I don't have Roku. He does. I couldn't make it. Couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I couldn't see it. I can't promise I'm going to see it because I don't know how I'm going to get time to get over to your place. I can't rent this. I don't know how I'm going to see this without going to your place. I don't envision myself being able to go over to your place for a while, at least over the next few days. So yeah, I can't promise I'll see this by the next episode of the pod, and I'm sorry.
So are you gonna ask me about it or what?
I assume that you were going to say it no matter what. But Dr. O, how was Weird? I can't wait to hear your brief review.
You want me to be concise with this one, do you?
I don't want spoilers.
Well, I mean, we did a movie swap last week, some great spoiler-free reviews if you haven't checked out our feed from last week and also on our YouTube. But yes, I will tell you about Weird, Ricky Flex. It's getting phenomenal reviews right now. It's certified fresh and Rotten Tomatoes. Audiences are loving it. I liked it. I didn't think it was a masterpiece of any kind. I did think it was perfect for a Weird Al Yankovic type of film. It was a parody of all these biopics that we've gotten, music biopics. It even felt like it was satirizing a little bit of Elvis that we just saw with the relationship between Colonel Parker and Elvis Presley. It was pretty zany, and it was not even pretty. It was very zany. It's very off the wall. If I had to describe the inspirations for that movie or what I kept on coming back to and thinking about as I was watching, it was Dewey Cox, right? Walk Hard, just because of the way it makes fun of these other musical biopics, but also actually Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. You will understand that exactly because of the craziness of the third act of this movie, the liberties it takes, and it's just, I think they found a way to make the story as zany as possible, but very on your, I felt like I was on my toes because you didn't know where the story was going to go. You knew from the get-go it was going to be completely historically accurate. It was anything but historically accurate if you want me to be frank about it. But Daniel Radcliffe, so good. He was so good. And it just goes on this run that he's had where he's staying away from these major blockbusters. He's keeping on where he's trying to kind of redefine himself or kind of clean his slate with this type of role. At no point was I thinking that's Harry Potter while I was watching. I was like, that's Weird Al Yankovic. I think he was very funny too. He has some comedic chops that I didn't think he had. And it was great to see also him playing alongside this also reminded me of Dewey Cox, where it's these C-list comedic actors that appear time and time again, and also a couple B-list to A-list comedians that are showing up in this movie. It just made me think what type of budget did Roku have to deal with here, and this could be a movie that puts them on the map a little bit. It gets people a little more excited when they have a major star or a bigger a B-list to A-list star. Starring in one of their projects. I think it'll make people start to pay attention. I think it's a good start for them. So overall, definitely liked it. If you're looking for pure movie technique and the structure, you're not going to find it here, but definitely it was the perfect movie to go into about Weird Al. It was just the perfect approach.
So a follow-up question, but then quick comment here. The budget was $8 million for this movie. So wow. $8 million, it's not a huge budget, obviously, compared to superhero action movie, but $8 million for a music biopic, that's a decent chunk of change. So I'm interested. to see where this production value is when I do see this movie, whenever that is. But quick follow-up. You mentioned Dewey Cox. Is it better than Dewey Cox?
I don't think so. There is a part of me where I was this is too much as it got through it was in the middle of the third act. I'm I get what they're doing, but it really isn't my cup of tea. I found most of it humorous, but at times I was I was starting to roll my eyes a little bit, saying okay, I think it's time this movie just ends. It's going to take it to a point where there is no return, and it's going to just, I don't know. It's just the third act. You just have to see it to believe it, how zany it is, and the liberties they take. And I don't even think I can call it a biopic. It's not a biopic, to be honest.
Wow. Okay. That kind of
because it's
makes
so
sense though.
fictional and it's like it's the reality is so exaggerated. It feels like just a piece of fiction that is like okay, like it almost felt like Weird Al definitely had his hands on this project. Um, yeah, and the guy who directed it, I forgot the guy's name, but he hasn't done much. He does Silicon Valley. He's done a couple episodes of that. I don't think he has much else on the resume, but I don't know how he got all these. One of the best parts of the movie is seeing like who's going to pop up next and seeing like those actors that we like come to adore and like see them playing like also like other niche like talents like they have they're in these niche categories just like Weird Al was and like one that isn't as popular but at the same time somehow gained notoriety in the 70s and 80s. So good stuff. I was a little disappointed no White and Nerdy though. That's my favorite Weird Al song.
Okay, yeah. So, all right, this makes sense. I'm just looking at the director here, Eric Appel. He also writer for Silicon Valley and Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Yep.
New Girl. So, like, those are obviously some comedies there, and also he's done some sketch comedy and improv. So that's probably how he knows some of the comedians that don't say you're not spoiling, but probably involved here with. So, okay, I'll check it out. I'm gonna check it out anyways, but decent review. It sounds like decent movie, decent review.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put a timetable though on when I'm going to see it because I honestly don't know. I'm not going to lie to
Yeah.
the listeners.
And I think for people who just want to see Daniel Radcliffe, like I think it's a good excuse to watch him. It's never dull. This movie's never dull. And that's I think more you can say about like your everyday musical biopic. It seems like they always hit a lull of some kind. They're always overstuffed and they're always taking on a story that's too big to bite, right? It's too big. And here it just seems like they knew exactly what was going to be the right approach. Good movie.